There we go, another big sip of coffee. Getting ready for another Wednesday open coaching call, live, ask me anything. Um, Talking about starting, building, growing education business. If you're new here, welcome on to the site. Um, these are meant to be completely open. There's all sorts of stuff that I like talking about, and I will talk if no one asks questions, but my preference is that everyone in the chat there, just let me know who's here, what you're working on, things you want to cover. I would love to address those, do my best to do that. And these can be working sessions. If you want to try some prompts or try and figure out how to do something, we can actually do that live today. Again, totally unstructured. Well, kind of unstructured. I do have some things that I was actually looking at. I'll just show you the kind of the notes I was working on beforehand. And again, these are ones that, maybe we can do, maybe we'll get to, again, totally up to you. So I'll just show you what I was working on. And again, one of the things that I do on all of the sessions, anytime I do something on YouTube, is I try and use a mind map to go over the talking points or the things that I, like to kind of focus on during these sessions. Again, will I go to them? Who knows? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Depends on how the questions go. I usually kind of do a mind map like you see on the screen, and then when I'm going to present it, I go to a tree chart and kind of open it up like this. And it lets me kind of work from it. So when we're talking, for example, and I'm looking directly at the camera and I'm just doing the headshot, I have two monitors. One of the monitors has that mind map in front of me, so I have my talking points, and then obviously the camera's right in front of me, so I'll talk into the camera. Who do we have here? Scott, thanks for coming on. Flyboy Scott, are you a pilot? That was one of those things that's on my bucket list that I never got to do. If you are a pilot, that would be kind of neat. Again, let me know who's here. Where are you from? What are you working on? What are things that you want to cover or not cover? I've been doing as many as 2 or 3 videos a day. I try and do one a day for YouTube. Sometimes I only get 4 during the week or 5, and I take some time off on the weekend. But I have a pretty good system for creating these videos. And in fact, the stuff that I'm going to be doing some of the stuff I'm going to be doing over the next week is just going to be talking about YouTube as a kind of a big picture, something to focus on, because I think it is even more important than we realize. And I think the video that I published this morning, if you haven't seen it, it's all about using Atlas, the brand new AI browser from ChatGPT, OpenAI, and using it with YouTube, and how I think, that's something that can completely replace courses. So that's something that is something there. So was landing, Scott was landing. Thanks, Scott. Let me see if I can get this to come up again. It's one of those ones I don't know if I can. Let's see what happens. There we go. Scott was saying was landing, you helped. So Scott was on a flight last time we talked to him, and he came in. So very cool. Thanks. Thanks for listening as always. So what do people want to talk about? What's going on? What is important to you? Are you a teacher? Are you someone who's creating courses, trying to generate income? Do you have a membership site or a training site? Are you looking for a business model that's working or not working? Are you struggling with something, whether it be kind of getting your campus set up or even marketing what you're doing? Anything in that particular space, I would kind of love to talk about. Again, these are ones that I go ad hoc. So whatever you want to learn about, let me know. So I will kind of share something with you. Just what about communities on YouTube? Any experience there? Hey, that's a very good question. We can certainly take a look at that one. And I'm going to show you something on YouTube. And I'm not. There's going to be people that are way better than me on YouTube that have a lot more subscribers. I get that. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing with YouTube and something to consider if you come from the background that I did, which was all about creating content for search engine optimization, writing blog posts, trying to do all of these things to create content to be search engine optimized. So I didn't have to pay for ads, and hopefully I'd get a whole bunch of really qualified traffic that would find my website and get involved with something. Now, the reason that I hate that, and I think it's a waste of time right now, and this has nothing to do with what I think is happening with search, but it takes a lot of time, energy, and effort, for me anyway, to write great blog posts that are designed specifically to get traffic and get people engaged in my community. So one of the things that I spend a lot of time focusing on, and I'll show you this, we'll go and take a look at my YouTube. We're just going to go here. We're going to go to YouTube. I'll open up YouTube. We can take a look at that. And I'm going to show you in the background why I think YouTube is so important. So if you don't have a YouTube account, I'm saying to everyone, create a YouTube account as fast as you can and post as many videos as you can, and they should be live edit, not edited videos. And that's the part that I am talking about for the next little while, but this is why I think it's important. So let's go to another screen here if I can get one that shows a little bit more. Here's why I think it's so important. Just to give you some stats, I'm going to go to the YouTube studio and I'm going to open this up and we'll take a look at this. And this is the part that I think is why, this is one of the big reasons that I think posting to YouTube as quickly as you can, as roughly as you can, but getting YouTube content up is so important. If I take a look at, we're getting pretty close here, 912. So hopefully I'll be at 30,000 subscribers over the next day or so. But here's the one that I think is really important. In the last 30 days, I've got 68,000 people who have viewed one or more of my videos. So if I take a look at that from a teaching or an education perspective, all the videos I do are about a particular topic. It's about AI, communities, and starting and building, growing education business. So that is 68,000 people have viewed a video. If I was focusing on posting to social media to get people to come to my website, or if I was writing blog posts in the hope that a search engine would find it and someone would come to it, would I have had 68,000 people who had watched me in the last 30 days? I don't think so. I think YouTube is the most effective way for the education or educators or teachers or course creators to get in front of people to share your message and get it out as quickly as possible. 6,000 watch hours, estimated revenue right now is a whole $632. But that's actually what's happening here on the channel. I just posted stuff. Let me just see where. Posted stuff, quit buying courses, 7 out of 10 in my last videos. It's the 7th most effective title, so I'll probably take a look at it. Only 198 views, 7 minutes. Most of the people are watching it. I've got 4 comments already. So I think YouTube, if you're in the education space, YouTube is absolutely the place to be and create videos as quickly as you can and as many as you can to get in front of your audience about what it is that you're particularly interested in. So let me know your thoughts on that. I just wanted to show that to you. These are real people that are just getting a chance to find out what I'm interested in and what my skill set is and what my passion is about. And I think that's a really, really cool lifestyle way to be able to do that and in fact get paid for it, but to get to talk to people, find out what they're doing, find out what they're working on, and just share, what I've been up to. So, that's something just to consider there. I will talk about communities on YouTube as well, Scott. So Scott was just asking, what about communities on YouTube? Now, there's a couple things that are available on YouTube that some people don't know about. One of them is you can sell courses on YouTube. You can have, I think they call it, you can actually sell courses or playlists, set them up. So instead of having a learning management system or a website, you can basically keep content as a course that is hidden from people that only paying members that pay through YouTube actually get to see. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you can mark videos as member only so that you have your own membership area, your own community that is available in or on your channel or channels. You can have one separate for each one if you want, and you can make posts to your YouTube channel as well. Now, this is kind of interesting because technically you can completely bypass a website. If you wanted to just do everything on YouTube, you certainly can, and there's a couple ways to monetize that. Now, there's a number of reasons for doing that, and there's a whole bunch of reasons for not doing it. And specifically, I think it is because most education businesses, and again, this is my kind of spin on it, stop focusing on, I have to create a course. A course is not an education business. There's all sorts of other things that are around monetization and getting your message out, being able to share how you do things and teaching people how to do things. It's not a static course. So if you're in YouTube and you're limited to YouTube, there's all sorts of additional pieces that you'll often run into that you want to do with customers, and then you've got two different sites in managing things. And where this shows up is I'm in the studio for YouTube, and you can see that there's a community tab on the left here. And that community tab is basically your way to make a post on YouTube and actually comment with people here. So this is not dependent on a video. It's not like making a comment on a video. It is making a comment on the particular channel. And these ones are just showing, in this case, about the comments on all of the channels, but I can make individual posts there as well. Okay, so that's one thing that is available to you. And mentions, this is kind of by default is all of the things here, but you can turn it on, and then let's do this and see what happens. We'll turn it back on. Viewer posts, I don't have anything in here. Okay, I'm not using it. Where's the other one? I know I do have posts. I did have some posts made. Maybe I turned it off. I did actually make some posts, and they're available on the main part of the website. So that is something that you can do. The community part, it's not really like a community, something that you'd find on Fluent Community, which are the ones, for example, that I'm using here, which is Fluent Community and these privately branded campuses that we create with WordPress. Let me just refresh this. And again, here's just an example of this is an agency service that we provide to people. We build these campuses just like this one for people who don't want to learn how to do it themselves. They just want a community to start using tomorrow. So if I had my whole business on YouTube and I was selling this particular service that is separate from a course, I've now got to have two different ways of managing the customers, figuring out who's logged in where, at what place, two different billing systems, getting money. So it just gets a little bit cumbersome. So I try and do everything in my privately branded campus, and I build them on YouTube. And everything is here in this one place. I don't use any third-party tools when it comes to building out the membership, the content, the courses, the community, the billing, the shopping cart, the CRM, the project management, the Calendly bookings. I do it all in one place. So I'm in complete control of my campus. My platform is all mine. It's not all over the place trying to connect it. It is all in one particular place. So communities can be set up on YouTube. Whether it's the best idea, I don't really think so at this point. So here's a question here. Jennifer, thank you very much. Jennifer, Learn English. Jennifer, English as a second language teacher to business professionals. Hey, thanks for coming on. That's an interesting space there, language training, especially with a whole bunch of the stuff that's happened in terms of wearables and hardware over the last 30 to 45 days. Who else do we have on here? We'll go back and, hey, Zach, thanks for coming on. Had to see your video in order to have watched it. Yeah, Zach, let me go back. There we go. Zach saying, but 68K had to see your video in order to have watched it. Yeah, that is absolutely true. And let's talk about that because it's important. And then I'll come back, Jennifer, to that other English as a second language one. Let me open this up again so we can take a look at it. And again, I am going to show you, this is part of the reason why I think you should create YouTube videos as fast as you can and as many as you can. When I first started when did YouTube start? I had a YouTube account, I think a year and a half after it started. And when I first started doing it, I thought that I had to have fancy video edits, you know, all music and backgrounds and transitions and all of that stuff put together. And I did some. They took a lot of time and I had no one seeing them. I had to buy pieces of software. I had to learn how to do things. Um, the people that did know, if I wanted to, you know, farm it out, it was an absolute huge amount of money to get it done. And then it's back and forth. It wasn't really what you liked. But even today, I find a lot of people are creating YouTube videos and they're pushing it if they can get one YouTube out or one video out a week. So at best, they're getting 4 a month, for example, or 52 at a year. So if you are in that particular spot and you have the opportunity over a year to be in front of, or 52 chances to be in front of that audience that is already on YouTube, that's already searching for what it is that you're good at or interested at, you have to get viewed. Absolutely correct. However, if you try and do a video a day or a video every 2 days and you have 165 videos over the year, you have a better chance, it's far more likely that you will get picked up or people will start to recognize you because they're going to see your name and your video even if they don't click on it. So if you have 150 videos versus 50 videos and you are creating videos on a regular basis, there's a whole bunch of really neat things that happen with that. One is that you become, by default, an authority by volume. You're posting more. It doesn't mean your content's better. It doesn't mean the editing's better, but you have a much better chance to be seen as someone who knows what they're talking about because you're pumping out videos compared to someone who isn't. That's the first part. The second part is that I recommend, and I do all of my videos now, if you say to me, create a YouTube video, I can create one in usually 1 to 2 takes, but I do no editing. I do no music. I do nothing fancy. These are all one take live edits and it's completely done. So if someone says to me, create a video on a topic, of course I will research it, get my talking points put together. If you have to use a script, you can do that as well. But talk to an audience of one. You're not posting on YouTube. You're teaching one person something that you should already know about and just covering the points about a particular thing that you want to teach and basically get it out and share it. And this is why. If I go take a look at my content, and I'll open this up right now, and I take a look at all of my videos, and I look at the views, and I have my top one has 171,000 views. Okay, that was in December 30th of last year. So 11 months ago now, 10 months ago. If I go and take a look at when I started on this channel, let me go see here. Is it this one here? I think it's, I think I can get it to do the lowest views. Where are my videos? Published ones. Bottom line is that I have some that have 47 views or 50 views. Some of them now 6 views. One's unlisted, some of them are public in draft. Let me see if I can get a couple more here to show up. Point is, you're going to be absolutely crappy at them until some of them start getting more people to view them and you get better at just being yourself in front of the camera and understanding how to package stuff that becomes picked up. And once you get 1 or 2 that are actually videos that for whatever reason YouTube gets going on, you're going to end up that you can't stop people watching the videos from. And I think this is an absolutely huge opportunity because not only does it get you in front of an audience, it allows you to verify that the topic that you're talking about and the way that you're delivering it is something that someone's interested in. I find a lot of people that will go and create, they'll go and create, pardon me, a course. They'll do something because they're interested in it and they think it's what people want, but it may not be. If you do a whole bunch of YouTube videos, even at the crappy part at the start, you're going to get better at it each time. If you keep at it, you're going to have the transcripts of all of that information, which you can repurpose, which is something else that we can talk about today. But you're going to get better at it, and you're going to find out this is what people like, this is what people don't like. Don't do what you think you should be doing. Take a look at the videos, see what people are commenting on, see what people are liking, see what people don't bother with, that don't even view or open, see what happens in terms of how you go and how many people watch the whole video or drop off. Learn from it. But if you don't do these and you're creating a 38 video course that took you 6 months to do, to find out that no one's interested in it, you're going to run into a whole bunch of trouble. So create videos as quickly as you can. And at the start, you're going to get no one to view them unless you have an existing audience from your traditional business, which is a whole other kettle of fish. But I started off and it took me 2-3 months before I had a couple that started to get good. I just started talking a little bit more about what I was doing, repackaging it, and then you get one video that hits, 2 or 3 that hits, and then you understand what people are reacting to, and you can verify, is this the kind of people that I want to talk to? And if it is, how do I package this to make sure that people get this? And I'll give you a real simple example of how you have to think about this. And this is, I'm going to show you something, and I don't want you to kind of get clickbaity on me, but this is something that's human nature that you have to recognize, even if you don't like it. Now, I'm showing you in trainingsites.io. There's the video I did this morning. Let me just pull this one up here. I'm going to show this to you here. Hopefully I can find the one that I was looking at. Yeah, so take a quick look at the screen here for a second. And this is a video that I did last week that I think I have 15,000 views on in the last 7 days. Now, here's the part of just showing as an example how you can learn from YouTube videos. You can do an A/B test on the thumbnails and the titles, which are the most important part that you'll learn about YouTube videos. Is not the content, it's actually the titles and the thumbnails. I am incredibly lazy when it comes to thumbnails. All I focus on is the thumbnail text. It's because I'm not good at graphics and I have ChatGPT create the titles and the thumbnails. I have a custom GPT that does that. I have a Google Gem that does that. And I actually have an app that I built that does that as well. And I play them off on each other. But here's the part that unfortunately you learn. I had 3 titles. I had 29.8%, which is about, why ChatGPT Atlas browser could change learning. I had 29% Atlas browser changing how we learn. And then Atlas just killed online courses. Here's why, 41%. So if you're thinking about how does my messaging work, what am I going to get the most response from? Which are the ones that people are watching? There's a simple example on how you can package something that makes a huge difference in how people react to it and who gets engaged. And I think, a lot of people that are in the education space think about creating a video or course that's how to do this, how to save time. But in some cases, it may be the contrarian view or challenging what's accepted that will stand out on YouTube, and it gives you the opportunity to position yourself differently than everyone else. But you can find out by doing a whole bunch of YouTube videos and testing stuff and having YouTube figure it out for you, as opposed to you thinking about, I need to have a course that has this logical structure, that has these videos and these lessons and these quizzes and follows these steps. So hopefully that, I know I get carried away on this one because this is what I like doing. And the best part is when I do this, I have all sorts of content for a community that AI can massage, repurpose, synthesize, change, all sorts of stuff that I don't have to do other than create the videos, have the content part, talk to people, teach stuff. So that's kind of my spin on it there. And again, we can go through some of that. Hey, Kelly, thanks for coming on. Hey, Don, Scott, thank you very much. So let's go back and here's the one, Learn English with Jennifer. Okay. So let me see if I can get this to zoom up a little bit. We'll do it on, let me clean this. I'm playing around with Ecamm. I'm on a Mac. I use Ecamm doing a live stream here. And I have some scenes set up. Some of them I know how to use perfectly. Other ones I'm playing around with. That's just an example of one that I did with Jennifer where it showed up in the bottom, but it wasn't big enough to show. So here's kind of one, I think I got it working. So Jennifer says, learn English. I'm finding that most students need the accountability to complete the work to learn. So I found that my asynchronous courses are rarely completed. And I think you hit the nail on the head. And this is only going to get worse as there's more content being created um, by AI or anyone else. In fact, you don't necessarily have to be an expert anymore, right? You can generate stuff with AI. I actually saw, I think it was yesterday, the guy who's the head of Claude, Anthropic, he basically said in a paper that they wrote is that the AI is starting to know or reflect on the previous work that it's done. I'm not talking about memory, but it's starting to become aware. And again, this is just a paper they wrote. I had Mo Gadot. I watched a video of him who was speaking in a conference last week. He was one of the guys from DeepMind, I think, at Google. But he said by the end of 2026, we're going to have, I think it's called AGI or Artificial General Intelligence. And what that means is that these AIs are going to be smarter than humans or more capable than humans in every area. So here we are in 2026. This stuff is coming. We can't get away from it. So we got to pick a strategy and say, what am I going to do? Am I going to compete on static courses, or am I going to get involved with people and teach people and hold them accountable, mentor them, coach them, guide them, but let them use AI to do the work, but help them apply what it is that you're doing. And again, the way that I look at it, and this is exactly, hit the nail on the head, Jennifer, this is exactly the way I think of these privately branded campuses. See if I can get one open up here that I've done in the past. Again, these are the all the maps that I've done. Let me do this one here. Just there we go. Privately branded campus. We'll open this one up. Hopefully it'll come up. There we go. So here's here's the way that I look at this when it comes to teaching stuff. And I look at a privately branded campus as a way to have your own personal platform. Don't compete with people on other platforms. Build your own platform and your own audience. And I think the way to do that is to have a community of your own campus, to have it as a library which is with as much curated and organized content about your topic. So you have a community library. The second thing is, and this is the part that Jennifer, I think you're talking about, is creating interactive classes where you hold people accountable. You might want to call them coaching. I call them working sessions or sprints. And what I'm looking at, and again, this is what I'm working on as hard as I can, and where I think 2026 is going to be very huge and moving forward even huger. I think this is the part that we can all monetize if you're trying to traditionally sell courses or teach stuff, is actually having interactive classes where you're challenging people to have something done by the end of the class or working on it by the end of the week, but you have some challenges and some sprints, and you work with people in a group or one-on-one, and you charge them for access to yourself and your guidance, mentorship, and holding them accountable. And the part that is so important about this is that I recognize that all of you have AI and are going to be using AI. So I want to validate the frameworks and the approaches that I'm applying in the tools I'm using and teaching that to you, so that when we're doing the classes, I'm going to say, hey, use AI to do this, or build an app that does that for yourself. Oh, you need help? This is the way that I did it. Why don't you try it? How did you do it? Did that work or not work? Let's work through these things and have it happen. And that interactive class is about frameworks and recipes that you have as proven. Organize live learning experiences and take it from the community to a campus where someone is more involved and engaged. And this part here is what I charge people for personally at trainingsites.io. All of my community and my library content is free. Do it yourself. You're way to the races. If you're done with me, you got to pay. And then this campus part is all about growing your business. And there's a whole bunch of things with automation and tools that are in there. So yeah, if you're teaching English as a second language, you just think about it. Last month, Apple introduced the earbuds, right? That translate conversations on the fly in multiple languages. They had the one from Google, the Google I/O conference 40 days ago or 60 days ago. If you're talking to someone on your Android phone and you're talking English and the other person speaks Spanish, they get a Spanish message. And when they speak in Spanish, you get an English message. So there's all of these AI tools and things happening that are going to remove the need for what was maybe a traditional content course, but they're still going to need someone to help them and guide them and apply it to their unique situations. And that's where that interactive part, I think, is going to be really interesting. So Jennifer, yeah, I think you're onto the right track there. That's the part that I'm excited about. And I think you can charge a lot more money for you and your experience as opposed to a static course which can be created in 30 minutes. And in fact, if you didn't watch the video that I did today, I'm just going to go to this because it's interesting. We can actually do it if you want, but I'll show you this one I did today. I posted a couple minutes ago. Let me just go and we'll open up this one here. So let's go to my channel. And I just want to, I'll show you, this is pretty flippy. So this one right here, Atlas replaces courses. If you get a chance, go and watch this one. The reason I'm saying that is because what I did through this video is I showed in Atlas how you could go to YouTube and basically create a course, lessons, flashcards, quizzes, anything that would be in a static course. You could pick videos, your own, someone else's, a playlist, multiple videos, and basically interact with ChatGPT about that content live and in real time. Now, it won't help you implement it. It won't guide you on the actual application when you're away from it. That's the part where you come in. But in terms of the content, there's absolutely no need for a course. If you have Atlas, which is free for Mac users, and you can go to YouTube, which is free for everyone. So yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happened. What other questions we got there? Okay, Scott. Luigi, hey, thank you very much, Luigi. There we go. Here's one. Luigi's asking, what kind of computer will I need to start? Let me see if I can pull this one up here. Don't know how to use this. There we go. I'm just learning how to use it. Let me just pull this up. We'll put it on a different screen. Again, learning how to use these things. Wish I could, wonder if I can make that bigger. No, don't know how to do that. Let's do this one. Oh, there's one there. These are the ones where you're going, okay, cool. I'll try and figure that out and see how it works. Let's try this one. There we go. So what kind of computer will I need to start that? I have a laptop right now only, but I have the tablet, really want to get into these videos. And I also have some scripts. I want to do a sitcom. So here, again, totally my understanding. If you have a smartphone, you can start doing YouTube videos. You don't need anything special. I think you can do YouTube videos directly with a tablet. I don't see why not. I haven't done any. Whether you can live stream or not, I don't know if that's a great way to, I'm not sure the best way to do it. I know for myself that I have a Mac Mini, which is a very basic computer. I use Ecamm Live on the Mac, which is for doing live streams and or recording. And I have a couple monitors, and basically I've got an Insta360 webcam on top. I could have my smartphone if I wanted to, and I'm basically talking into the camera / smartphone. And when I'm doing this, I'm recording the screen and my headshot. And there's a number of ways to do that. Some simple examples, if you want to play around, is I'm pretty sure CapCut is an easy and free tool to use. That's the people from TikTok that built that as well. Go check out CapCut. It is a piece of software that takes simple videos that you have and allows you to create all sorts of more complex videos, whether they be for TikTok or even regular videos. If you've got a Mac, for example, there's the built-in one on Mac. I never use it, but it's there to create videos. There's all sorts of tools. If you have, for example, ones on your computer. It still works, I think, on a tablet. But if you have something like Uscreen or Loom, There's all sorts of tools that will do a screen capture and a headshot just with your camera, and you can start recording those. So lots of options available there. You don't need a lot of hardware to get started, not at all. And in fact, I think one of the big problems for a lot of people, and again, this is something I did by mistake, is I bought an expensive Canon camera because I thought I had to. I had bought a whole bunch of extra stuff that I really didn't need. You can start with a smartphone if that's where you're at. Get started. And I think the other thing is when you're doing the videos, and this is why I'm so big on YouTube, the value of the YouTube videos is not the YouTube videos, it's the transcripts. Because if you have YouTube videos, you automatically have the transcripts. And if you have the transcripts, you can repurpose that to all of your social media, all of your blog posts, all of your lessons, all of your tutorials, all of your handouts. Everything can be created from the transcripts and the AI that you have. And that can be stuff that's done by apps, by gems or custom GPTs or agents. Any of the tools I've been talking about can repurpose those transcripts. So create as many transcripts as you can, good, bad, whatever it happens to be. It doesn't have to be about on the screen. It's just you teaching what it is that you're about, and get the transcripts. And I think, one of the cool things that most people forget is when we're talking about AI doesn't care about the transcript in its entirety. It cares about 6 to 7 words in chunks. Because when someone or you asks AI to work on your transcripts, it's putting together the chunks to answer the question. It's not going to spit back, here's the entire transcript. Doesn't care. It's going to take the bits and pieces of all of your transcripts and try and provide the best answer to what either you or someone has asked in order to get the outcome that you're working on. So don't get hung up on ums and ahs and things in the transcript. You're going to repurpose them. It takes 30 seconds to do it. You can automate it. It gets done. There's all sorts of tools that do it. But then if you don't have YouTube videos, you don't have transcripts. If you don't have transcripts, you're trying to figure out, how do I create social media posts? How do I create blog posts? How do I create lessons? But you can do it all from the transcripts. So get going on YouTube. Capture everything that you do. Digital exhaust. It doesn't have to be a YouTube video. It can be the stuff that you do while you're doing it for customers or yourself. Just capture it. Have the transcripts, talk about what you're doing, record the video, keep everything that you do, because it is you capturing what you're good at and what you like doing. Okay. Jadon, remember getting stars in school? Yeah, absolutely. Never mind the bed socks, song parodies for Gen X. Hey, everyone. Who we got here? Kelly Kerr is saying, thank you, Kelly, again for coming on. Thank you very much for all the people that come on a regular basis. I know I might repeat myself sometimes. If there is any questions, please make sure to ask them, and I'll do my best to either answer them based on my experience, and or we can talk about other ways of doing things, or go to some other sites and check them out. So Kelly's saying, is there any other way to teach voice, but through private lessons or an online course? I wish you would stop saying that courses are dead. I and many others, okay, use that nomenclature. When we want to learn something, we look for a course. And Kelly's saying, I provide lesson materials online, and they can schedule private or enroll in a course with live workouts. Now, I want to acknowledge this, and I want to talk about it because I'm in total agreement that the name course has a connotation, or many people think of course and learning. And I find it difficult to change from the word course to something else, because I don't think there's a good name for it yet. However, I think it is coming, where people are not going to be taking a traditional course, or the expectation of what a course is, which it is a bunch of lessons that might have text materials or video materials or PDFs and quizzes. My personal belief is that form of learning is not a sustainable business or way that is going to be used as people learn stuff moving forward in the next, 365, 400 days. There's just too many changes from what I've seen and what I'm learning and what I'm trying. There's too many different ways to learn that have nothing to do with what we assume to be a course. So I don't know what it's going to be called. Maybe people will call it a course, but the way that people are learning is not by a structured, static bit of content. I am saying that the coaching, mentoring, all of the things that happen, those are super important. And in fact, I think a course, you might have heard the term a flipped classroom, that kind of thing. My personal preference is to sell the outcome, deliver the outcome through the live classes, supplemented with the recording courses that people can go back to. And I'm calling it a course, but it is just content that people can reference back when they're not in the live interaction and they're still having questions about stuff. So that's just the way people are starting to learn. And if you watch the video that I talked about today, the ones about Atlas replaces courses, I don't know if I want to pull this one up. Maybe I will. Just think about it for a second. If you go to YouTube, what the heck? Why don't I pull it up? So if you're not familiar with this, what Atlas is, if you're on a Mac, if you go to ChatGPT, and again, this is in the video, and if you go to ChatGPT/Atlas, what they did is there's a couple of the large language model vendors that have brought out their own browser. This one is the one from ChatGPT or OpenAI. It's called Atlas. And they've done some really different things here that the other vendors haven't done. And this is the one that I've been playing around with for the last week. It's only available for Mac today, but you install it and it runs on your Mac. It's going to be available for Windows shortly, is what I've read, and also for mobile. When you have Atlas installed, it isn't a browser, it is ChatGPT that does browsing. And if you go take a look at yourself on what you normally do, I just opened up a version of Atlas here. So this is Atlas. It looks exactly the same as a browser. However, if I look on the right-hand side at any time, I can go, and if I'm on YouTube, let me go in the video here and we'll go take a look at the video. I don't want to watch this, and we'll go back to YouTube, to the main site. I'm not logged in here, so that's unfortunate. I'm not logged into YouTube. Let me just see if I can log into one. I'm just going to log in so that we have an account. I don't want to do that. Unfortunately, I don't want to log in and show you my password. Actually, let's do this. I will log in. I'll hide my password so I can log in. Now, I haven't, if you have a Mac, it's a good idea to maybe go and try this so that you see kind of how it works and what it does. But I wanted to show you this particular part. Let's do this one. I'll do one of the different accounts. Okay, so I'm logged in as someone here, and I'm looking at, we'll do it AI, for example. I'm in YouTube and I'm in Atlas. Now, here's the part. If you are going to go learn something, would you go and search for a course, or will you search Google and or YouTube on how to do something? If it happens to be, tips for doing English or tips for public speaking or entrepreneurship or how to use AI or use a piece of software or be better at networking, will you go to YouTube and try and watch something? I know personally, I go to YouTube first and or I go to ChatGPT and ask questions. I don't go to Google anymore. So ask yourself, what do you do? And what are the people that your customers/clients do? Do they go and search for a course first, or they go and search a specific answer? For me, it's trying to get an answer to the question they have today about some particular topic. So if I'm going in here and I'm taking a look, and we'll do something about And again, these are some people that I watch. Let's do, I'm going to I'll just put in something on Perplexity. And Perplexity is an AI search engine that replaced Google. So here's one as an example. I'm looking at these ones. There's a whole bunch of videos. I don't know which one to watch, which is the best one to do. So I'm just going to go and ask ChatGPT in the right-hand corner here. And now ChatGPT is here. It knows exactly what tabs I have open, what I've been doing in the browser here, plus it knows what videos are on the screen here. And if I pick one of them and go take a look at it, I don't even have to watch the video anymore. I can just, on this case, let's do a new chat. I'm just going to say summarize this video. And here's some example ones that come up. Oh, sorry, I can't show it to you there. So all I did is I hit ask ChatGPT. It opens up in the side panel, agent mode, summarize this video and include key timestamps, background information, tell me a little bit more about who created it. I'm going to summarize it. So videos here, I can summarize it. Anything that I could normally do with a prompt, give me the key talking points. What are the prompts that the speaker uses as it? What are the 5 steps or what are the steps they identify and what should I do? How do I overcome this? Do they cover this particular topic? It is here. I have the summary. It's all built out, the timestamps, everything that are here on this video. Okay. So if, for example, I go back and I say, hey, maybe I want to look at another video, and we'll go look at Skill Leap, which is one of the guys that I follow. And I'm just going to say, compare this video's approach. And now I'm going to get another approach compared between the two videos. I can interact with a video, a playlist, and anything if I've been searching for stuff or working on stuff, I got a Google Doc or Google Sheet open, I can start asking ChatGPT about anything that I've been working on. So would I search for a course? Would you search for a course? I don't know. And this is only going to get more and more, I don't know, the wrong language. This is going to get easier to do, and it's going to be built into the things that we're doing. So if a focus is on course, and what course means is learning, I'm not sure what that's going to be. And I have personal troubles trying to name it something when it isn't what I think a course is anymore. So I don't know if it's like a sprint or a workshop or something that has to do with live teaching. That's the distinction between a static content delivery course in an LMS on a website or a learning experience. Are they both called courses? I'm not sure. I wish there was another name for it. But when most people think of courses, they think of logging into a site to watch some videos, again, in my opinion. So I know that's a tough question. I wish I had a perfect answer for it. I don't. I hope I was showing that video. Yeah. Yeah, so it's going through all of the stuff here, all available, all of the timestamps, comparing them to each other. I can do that for as many videos. And again, anything that I want to prompt is actually there right now. So this is a huge difference, and this is 2 weeks old. So 3 months from now, 6 months from now, when you have to consider that the amount, the way that AI is going is we're doubling every 4 to 6 months. So what is really cool now in 4 to 6 months is going to be standard, and there's going to be something completely different in 4 to 6 months. So this is the part that I'm thinking of. And is it a learning experiences? How are we going to create learning experiences? And is a learning experience a course, or is it teaching? I don't know a good name for it. So I think, that naming is a bit of a problem. So, I really, it is something that's kind of a interesting thing. So, okay. Here's here we'll go to this one. Here's when we've got a silent subscriber. Thank you for the videos. This is one of the things too, that when you're playing around with all of these privately branded communities, it is difficult to get people engaged, and there is a whole science behind that I'm spending a lot of time learning more about. There are some people that are going to lurk about the information that you post. Doesn't mean that they're not there, but maybe for whatever reason they aren't asking questions, may not be specific enough to them, and there are some ways to get them involved. Those are ones that I'm working on right now to automate with some agents, which is stuff I'll be talking about in the next couple weeks. But yeah, there's people that lurk, and that's okay. So again, if you have a community, they're in that space. They might be there to tell people. They might contribute, they might not, but the fact is you're getting your message out and being able to do that. What else we got here? Never mind the bed socks. Yeah, it's just evolving. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know what to call it. And in fact, one of the things that I do, just as an example, is I did this a couple minutes ago, actually, before we came on, is whenever at the Training Sites campus here, I have at the top feeds, classes, tutorials, videos, study halls, and prompts. Earlier today, I was calling the courses library, and I was calling the videos that are standalone YouTube videos with talking points and some additional material with it. I was calling those before tutorials. I'm not 100% sure what to call them. And again, this is something I struggle with. I understand where you're coming from. If you come up with something great, put it in the comments below. Let me know. If you call it a course, does someone come and think they're watching a whole bunch of videos in a sequence? Don't know. So it'll be kind of, yeah. What else we got there? Groundwater guy. YouTube is actually a good mechanism. I do training for water utilities, which requires so many contact hours per year for certified operators. I'm starting to do the courses on YouTube for free. Yeah, so here's something else to consider. One of the things that I have said frequently is that the whole thing with courses as well. I started off with LearnDash. I still have LearnDash here. I have customers that use LearnDash. I've used Lifter LMS. I've used Teachable. I've used Thinkific. I've used a number of tools which have been traditionally called learning management software or LMSs. And I'm not quite sure that they're going to be needed in specific markets anymore. I don't use LearnDash anymore personally. And the big reason is, there's a couple of them, but the big reason is that I don't offer any certification. And in many cases, there are, for example, the groundwater guy, where people, and I have customers that I recommend LearnDash, and we build campuses built on LearnDash, but they either have yearly number of hours I have to put in, or they have to be recertified each year, whether that's someone internally or externally, and they have to renew the course certifications. They might have multiple instructors and assignments to hand in, and a little more sophisticated part around the teaching. So yeah, there are different platforms based on the requirements of what the learning is. So, depending on your market, a lot of times in the corporate market, there's a whole bunch of additional, whether it's to our, credits, existing credits. When you get into learning paths, that people have to have this course, this course, this course, and they have to have, a certain proficiency in each particular one, pass certain quizzes. There's a whole bunch of stuff that may be involved there. Particular markets might want to do that, and you got to build your platform based on that. Having said that, I think if you are selling courses, you still need a community, you still need gamification, you still need a way for members to interact with each other and post with each other. I think you should have group spaces. I think you should have live events to supplement what might be in some recorded content that is in an LMS. Yeah, so certificates are, again, important in particular markets. And again, some people might want to have them or give them out for some proprietary thing that they want to be able to hang their hat on. Different strokes for different folks. It's just part of a bigger platform, which is, in my opinion, your privately branded campus, which is where you're in control of what's going on and who's there. So yeah, certificate, what costs is a way to sell the certificates. What else we got for question? What else are people thinking about? What kind of stuff are you wanting to learn about? What kind of things are you running into? All sorts of neat stuff happening in this space. happens every day, can't keep up with it. And I think, for me, the important part is just remembering that for all of this stuff that we're working on is, let me just see if I can get that. There we go. All of the stuff that we're working on has got to be for someone that wants to learn what it is that we're talking about. And I think you should have fun teaching it or talking about it. And that's irrespective if it's for someone on a corporate kind of space or if it's in a consumer kind of space or a personal space. Like, have some fun doing it. And the reason I say that is I spend a lot of time on YouTube, obviously. One of the things that I'm finding from the people in the education space, not only that I follow, but people that I've known for years and years in the internet marketing / digital marketing space, is there are a lot of them now who are posting on YouTube, but not selling Kelly, don't get mad at me courses or what they did for traditional courses. They're not offering certifications or completions. They're not offering the same kind of structured learning where you have to go through level 1, level 2, level 3. It's becoming much more personalized for where someone, what do they need to learn, what piece of it, what skill level are they at. Not saying you have to do all this. It's like, find the pieces that you need. Use AI to find the pieces that you need. And if you get stuck, hey, talk to me, I'm here. Or this is how to get this outcome. This is what we're doing as a short sprint about something, a quick challenge to get something done. If you need to do that, here's the quick challenge. We're doing it on this date. Get involved. If not, wait for the next one or tell me what kind of challenge, where you're at, and let's see if we can put something together to help or at least get you directed in the right way. So what else we got for questions? More questions, thumbs up. Again, if you haven't already, here's my sales pitch. Please go and like and subscribe to the channel, of course, but go visit trainingsites.io/join. This is my privately branded campus that is an experiment with AI, the same as everyone else is doing. However, I've been doing it for a little bit longer. I got a ton of free content in here because all of the videos that I do, all of the content that I create, all of the digital exhaust I'm trying to capture, and it is available for you for free, and I do my best to organize it. Having said that, that part's free. I am not. And if you want to get involved in any of the live working sessions that we do on a regular basis, just pull some up here. As an example, we've got classes. We've got 2 to 3 of them a week that are live Zoom calls that are interactive. We have this one on Wednesday, which is open. We also have some sprint classes on Monday mornings, Tuesday mornings, and Friday afternoon. And these are ones that we actually work on stuff. So these are live Zoom calls or Google Meet calls. It has nothing to do with YouTube and live streams. It's actually us talking and getting involved with each other, working on your stuff. This is the part that I ask people to pay for. And if you're interested, on the left-hand side, you'll see the shop and upgrade. And there's information about it. And right now, we've got $97 a month or $9.97 for the year if you want to get involved in just having some fun and building your own platform to be able to teach on. Yeah, so that's my sales pitch. Go and join the community, get engaged, ask questions, and if you need help, upgrade. It's a monthly basis. Get involved, do your stuff. We'll work on it. We'll get you with your own education business built out on your own platform, whether that be creating the community part, running the community part, or learning how to organize your frameworks and stuff in the form of live classes. That's what we're here to help with. So what do we got for questions? How long have I been going? 58 minutes. Holy mackerel. I don't know how I get going on this stuff, but kind of fun. What else we got here? Okay, here's one here. Okay, Learn Pidgin Najaway. How I create a student participation language app, one that provides experience points awards with sounds. Which free app tools can I use? This is a really good question. Here's an example. And again, this is just me, the way I'm thinking about it, just to give you some ideas. Is this the only answer? Absolutely not. But here's two things I was thinking of that you could do really, really quickly on this. So you're trying to get students to get involved with a language app. We actually have one of the members actually created one. I can't remember where it is, but we actually had a member who created one for languages, and they used, I think they used Lovable or one of the other vibe coding apps. They actually built one out that does courses, and I can't remember which student it was. Maybe I'll go and try and find that one in a sec. That's just an example. So there are apps that would allow you to build that, but it takes a little bit of trial and error to get it to a level that would be good enough for a student. However, having said that, it's getting a lot easier, and I'll give you an example of that right now. And again, this is one you can go play with. This one here is, I'm going to go to, and if you haven't played with this, here's two sites. Again, these are ones I've mentioned, but I never forget them. We've got labs.google/experiments. These ones are all of the cool things that Google is doing. So if you want to, there's the one Pomeli that actually checks out your brand and then creates graphics based on your brand. That one's free. Go play with it. I did a video on that one. Here's blog post writer, Opal. This is one that creates mini apps. Again, it's free to use. Play around with that one. Learn Your Way. I did a video on that one as well. So it allows you to basically take a document or a PDF and it creates a learning document based on it. Very, very cool. So go and check those ones out. Let me just see it. Notebook LM's in here. This one here is going to be really great, called Portraits. So cool stuff here. That's one place just to check out. Here's the other one, and this is the part that I was talking about. aistudio.google.com. And let me just put in, here's one here. I'm just going to say, I want to create an app that would allow students, what did you just say there? A language app for students. Just going to put this in. Let's see what happens. Students, go do this while you're watching here. Students that would require them to participate. And again, I'm just, what I would normally do here is whenever I do any of these things where I have a prompt, normally what I do is I go to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and I say, this is what I want to do. Can you create a prompt that I can use to give to, in this case, IA Studio? And again, this is super, super basic, but the thing is you can go and look at this and create an app and basically create run, and it's going to go in the background. Gamified language learning. So it's asking what age group proficiency are you targeting, specific languages, kind of participation do you have in mind. There it is. It started to build one, Lingo Quest. So there's an example of how you could build an app just by going to Google AI Studio with a Google account, play around and see what happens here. Answer the questions, get in, it's going to start building an app. There we go. Goes through, it's even got an interface for it. So that's just an example of building an app for doing that. Now, here's something else, and I just want to share this one with you. And then Fozzie, I think, let me just see, hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. Fozzie was asking, how do you extract YouTube videos? I'll show you that one in a second. Just in the short term, what you can do is anytime that you're on a YouTube video or you're in any of the AI tools, most of them now will be able to, if you give it the URL, they'll actually create the transcription. I'll show you the tool that I use and why, but a couple ways of doing it. But I just want to talk about another way of doing this, knowing that the students are going to have access to the same tools as you. So the other one that I play around with quite a bit now is, I'm just going to open up another app here. I'm going to open up, in my case, I'm going to open up Claude AI. I'm opening up the desktop app. And one of the things that Claude has now is skills. Now, why are skills important? you can create your own skills as the instructor, as the creator, that are about a particular skill that you want to give someone. The reason that this is important is not only can you use it, but you can give your skill to other people. So if you created a skill that was about learning a language or exercises to use or examples or create use case studies or tests or ways to study for a language, anything you can think of about a skill that you would want to give a student, you can basically create that skill, and it's a zip file. You can give it to all of your students as something that they can use like an app. It's not you creating an app. It's something that you can give them the skill and say, hey, use the skill and show me what you came up with. What did you create? What did you learn? How did it work? Where did you get stuck? But you're giving them the AI tool. You're giving them the app. They're going to use it and come back to you for some work. And again, this one is a really, really cool one. And in fact, I have one for sale. The one that I created here was, where's the one that we had here? Where did I put that one? Oh yeah, where did I put that? Bottom left-hand corner, and I have a video on this as well. If you go to settings, again, this is, I think it's only available on the desktop one. I can't remember right now. Settings, and if you have a paid version of Claude, capabilities, you turn on the code execution and file creation and skills. So what these are prepackaged skills, and you can call the skill anytime that you want in this particular one. So let's just pick one and see what happens. I have one that's a educational skill corrector. This is the one that I sold. So if you want to be able to create skills to sell to yourself or to give to the students, I have a skill that creates skills or lets you create skills. That one I sell. So lesson hook creator. So let's do this one here. I've got my lesson hook creator. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do a new chat. And I'm going to do use my lesson hook creator to for my upcoming lesson on language, foreign language, let's say, I don't know. What's something I can put here? I'm just saying, hey, use my lesson hook creator. I'm asking for the skill. So if you gave a skill to someone, let's see if this comes back. And it's going to see my thing. And this one creates hooks for how to build out the lessons. Did I spell it incorrectly? We're not sure. Still working on it. Stand by. So here's another example. Do I build an app from it? Do I create a skill, give it to someone? There's a whole bunch of different ways of doing this. These are just two examples on how you might want to create it. We'll come back and see what's working on it because we got a skill. Yeah, so there we go. Extract YouTube transcripts. Let's do this one right now. So we'll do this. There we go. Okay, so one of the questions, the other ones here is, which site to extract YouTube videos and transcripts? Here's a couple interesting things. Reading the file. Yeah, so it's actually, this one's reading the skill. That I have the skill here, it's reading the skill, and let's kind of see what's happening. We'll go back to my other screen here. And I'll show you a couple different ways of doing that. So let's say, and this is the one that I use that's free. It's one of the examples. There's another tool called glasp.co you can use. If you have Zoom calls or Vimeo and you upload a video, it's there. But I use one. Again, you can check this out right now if you're online. This one is called YouTubetranscript.io. And at any time, if you have a YouTube video, for example, this one here, I'll pick this one and we'll just get the share link. Hey, this is James. We're live again, trainingsites.io. Thank God I don't have the same stuff on today that I did when I did the video a couple days ago. There we go. So I'm going to go to the YouTube transcript one. I put the YouTube video in and it extracts the transcript. And this is one that is similar to Notebook LM because you're going to see what happens. I now have the transcript from this video or any video that I put in. Oh, darn. I do want to take this call. I'm going to have to stop. Sorry. There we go. I do have the transcript, and also on the right, I can create a mind map, key quotes, Q&As, study guides, quizzes, etc. This one creates the transcripts. If I had that same URL that I was talking about, and I did go to Notebook LM, again, these ones are available. Loading my notebooks, I can go and create a new notebook and add the YouTube video. And it will basically use Gemini to give me a summary of it. And I can also do audio interviews, video interviews, that kind of stuff as well. So those are a couple different ways of doing things with transcripts. One of the other things, I'll just show you this. This is in beta. Actually, I found out about yesterday. Let me do this one here. If you're in drive.google.com and you open up, in this case, let's see if I can find a video. Here's one here. So if I open up a video in Google Drive, watch what happens on the right-hand side. Hopefully, there we go. Okay, we're live. So if you open a video in Google Drive, one that you have on your hard drive, you also have on the right-hand side now a summary of the videos. You can use gems, Google Gems, apply them to these ones, create a quiz, list the learning points, do all sorts of stuff there in my jobs, and enter a prompt. So you can interact with these videos now, whether they're in Google Drive, on YouTube, anywhere, they're now available for you to work on, which is kind of cool. Sorry, it didn't show my screen. There we go. It did. What else we got here? Thinking about Google AI Studio, but wanted your opinion. Yeah, Google AI Studio is absolutely fantastic. I've been playing around with that, and actually the one video that I hit that did really, really well almost a year ago was about on AI Studio. They had this one about Flash 2.0, which allowed for interactive, interactive multimodal inputs on the videos. That was all there. That is a great place to play around. It's all free. All you need is a Google account. And then how can I sell it for money as a business? Yeah, so one of the one I just showed you with AI Studio, that is actually built on, the question is, how can I build my app and do it? Any of the ones like Lovable or any of those Bolt.dev, V.0, there's a whole bunch of them are vibe coding ones. Those ones can set up where they have authentication and Stripe. There's a number of them that allow you to do that with the interaction. The one with AI Studio is neat because it is based on the Google Firebase, which is one of those ones in the labs that has the billing, the registration, authentication. You just basically have to say, hey, hook this up to Stripe. I want to use the Google Interaction Suite to do it. And you've now got an app and you can charge money for it that way. The way that I did it for a skill is I created a skill in my particular case. Let me see if I can pull one up. If I go to the, what did I call that one? Can't remember what I called the sales page. Here, let me see if I can pull one up. We'll do a new tab. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'm just going to do an new incognito tab. And I'm going to go to training sites. Open this one up. I'm going to go to the campus. It's asking me to log in. Let's do this instead. I'm going to bypass that because I think I have courses. There we are. So what I did is I created a course. So Kelly, don't get mad at me because you're going to see it's not a course. But I created what is called a course. And on mine, I created a course called the new Educational Skill Creator for Claude. So what I did is I created a zip file, but I put the zip file within a course, which is called a course in a community, but I put the instructions on how to use the AI tool as the course. So this is the product actually. And in my case, I've got a bit of a sales page here. It's going to direct me to it. And if I wanted to buy the skill, there's my sales page for the skill. It was all done by Claude. I didn't create any of this. If I want to go and purchase it, again, this is all in the campus. It goes to my cart in the campus. If someone places an order, they're automatically enrolled in the course that includes the download link and instructions on how to use it. They're part of the community. They have access to the thing. I have the support tickets, the billing, everything is in one place. So, you build an app, you've got a separate standalone app. I built a skill and I put it within my platform and kept it there. Different ways of doing the same kind of thing. I will say the other part that is not difficult, but the other part to consider is if you're going to build an app, again, this is my personal kind of story on this. I'm not a programmer. However, I kind of can get around using the terminal, things like that. I did build some apps. I found that they're not the easiest to really understand or clean them up in a way that allows you to make them monetizable. Getting the stuff by allowing user roles and authentication and getting billing connected to something that works well, it's not easy. You often have to get other people to do it. It's not something usually that you can do your own. So if you're going to sell it, huge opportunities, but there's other costs that most people kind of don't take into consideration. So what else we got for questions? Any more questions? I've been going for what? How long here? Hour and 16 minutes. I might bring it in for landing in case there's something else. Anything else here? I want to thank everyone for coming on, by the way. I really appreciate when you ask questions. If you haven't already, put comments below. Tell me if you think I'm full of it. Let me know if there's stuff that you want to see for next time. And of course, always go join the community, get involved, let me know what's going on. Share what you're doing, share what's working, what's not working. It's there for you to start building your own education business, whatever that means for you. Kelly, courses or not courses, live classes or not live classes, selling products, selling services, selling applications. It's an exciting time for all of us, and we should be able to take advantage of it. So thanks again for everyone. I'll bring it in for landing, and we'll see you again next week. Take care and expect the best.